My alarm went off at 6:47 a.m. Same as always. But for the first time in maybe 3 years, I didn't move. I just laid there, staring at the ceiling, listening to my phone buzz on the nightstand like it was angry at me. 42 emails. 3 missed calls from my director. A Slack message that just said, in all caps, "Where are you?" There was a presentation. A big one. The kind the whole quarter had been building toward. And somewhere between midnight and 6 a.m. I had decided, quietly, shamefully, that I couldn't walk into that room. I wasn't ready. The numbers weren't right. The story wasn't clean. And I was terrified. So I did something I hadn't done since I was 11 years old. I called in sick. I was sitting at the kitchen table in my pajamas, laptop open, pretending to have a plan, when I heard her. Small feet on hardwood. Then, a gasp. "Daddy?" My daughter. 6 years old. Standing in the doorway in her dinosaur pajamas, hair a complete disaster, holding a stuffed elephant named Gerald like he was a witness to something miraculous. "You're home," she whispered. Like she'd discovered a new species. I told her I wasn't feeling well. That I was going to have to work from home today, so she needed to be a good girl and quiet, and maybe watch some TV and... She wasn't listening to a single word. She just ran to me, wrapped both arms around my neck, and said, right into my ear, with full sincerity, "Don't worry, Daddy. I'll take care of you." I don't know what I expected the day to look like. Probably, her on the couch, me on a call, both of us in the same house but orbiting completely different worlds. That's usually how it went on the rare Saturdays I worked from home. But she had a plan. First, soup. She insisted. She pulled a chair to the counter, climbed up, and with the authority of a tiny surgeon, directed me to sit at the table while she made me soup. Which turned out to be, a bowl of warm water, some crackers, and a single slice of American cheese she'd folded into a triangle because, she explained, triangles are the healthiest shape. I ate every bite. Then she made me a get-well card. On the outside, she'd written, "Feel better Dad, BEDDR, and drawn a picture of what I think was me in a hospital bed, except I appeared to have a tail. When I asked about it, she said, "That's your blanket. You're very sick." I told her it was the best card I'd ever received. I meant it. By 10 o'clock, my phone had buzzed 30 more times. And I had done something I never do. I flipped it face down. We built a fort. A real one, couch cushions, every blanket in the house, a broom handle wedged between 2 chairs to hold the roof up. She gave it a name. Fort Incredible. Naturally. We crawled inside and she told me things. Just talked. The way kids do when they finally have your attention and they're not sure how long it'll last, so they say everything at once. She told me about a girl at school who'd been mean to her last Tuesday. She told me that her stuffed elephant Gerald was afraid of thunderstorms but was brave about it. She told me her favorite color used to be purple but had recently changed to the color of the sky right before it gets dark, which she said didn't have a name yet and maybe I could help her think of one. I said maybe we could call it Almost Night Blue. She thought about it for a long moment. Almost Night Blue, she repeated. Yeah. That's it. We shook on it. At some point in the afternoon, she fell asleep against my shoulder inside Fort Incredible. Gerald tucked under one arm. Her breathing slow and even. And I just sat there. Laptop closed. Phone face down on the floor somewhere outside the blanket walls. And it hit me, not slowly, not gently, it hit me like something I'd been running from for a long time finally caught up. She hadn't asked why I was home. She hadn't questioned it. She hadn't asked if I was really sick. She hadn't cared about the presentation or the quarterly numbers or any of it. She just saw her dad in the kitchen on a Tuesday morning and thought. Good. He's here. That was enough for her. And I realized, somewhere in that fort, in the quiet, that I had been telling myself a story. The story that the working was for them. For her. That every late night and early morning and missed dinner was an investment in her future. That busy was the same thing as love. But busy isn't love. Busy is just, busy. And she wasn't waiting for her future. She was living right now. In dinosaur pajamas. Making soup out of warm water and geometry. And I had been missing it. I didn't fix the presentation that day. I didn't answer the emails. I didn't call my director back. I didn't save the quarter or clean up the numbers or craft the perfect narrative. The world, somehow, kept spinning. And the next morning, I walked into that office and I dealt with it. Because that's the thing nobody tells you, the crises almost always survive your absence. The work will wait. The meetings get rescheduled. The emails get answered eventually. But she won't be 6 forever. She won't always gasp when she sees me in the kitchen on a Tuesday. She won't always run to me with Gerald and tell me that triangles are the healthiest shape. One day she'll be too old for forts. Too old for made-up words for colors. Too busy herself, maybe, to notice if I'm home or not. And I do not want to spend the rest of my life realizing, too late, that I had been there without ever being present. Your kids know when you're checked out. They notice the top of your head bent over a screen at dinner. They notice when you say, just a minute, and the minute turns into 20. They notice the shape of your attention, where it goes, how fast it leaves. But they also notice when you stay. When you sit inside a blanket fort and let the phone buzz unanswered. When you eat warm water and crackers and call it soup. When you listen, really listen, to everything they need to say. Your absence is noticed more than you think. But so is your presence. So show up. Not perfectly. Not without fear. Not with everything figured out. Just, show up. The fort's waiting.